Hello, researchers. Welcome back. Welcome to the SCP Foundation. We apologize as our last meeting was abruptly intercepted due to the multiversal anomaly. Anyway, we have discovered 12 new unidentified subjects, and we need your help on researching them, but due to your prolonged disappearance, I would like to have a refresher regarding classifications. Safe class SCPs are easily contained. However, safe does not automatically mean harmless. Instead, it means that we could lock them up and have not to worry about them. Safe class objects comes in all shapes. Euclid. Euclid class SCPs require fairly specific containment procedures, but if they're followed, the SCP is easily contained. Most humanoids and sapient sentient animals should probably be classified Euclid because of their capable free will. Next, the Keter class. Keter class SCP require extreme specific containment procedures and are simply too difficult to obtain, effectively that they needed higher levels of care and resources to suppress. If you lock it in a box, and there's a chance it bursts through on the lid of its own accord unless you follow very stringent containment procedures, it is Keter. A Keter class SCP needs to stand out from the articles and be a unique threat for all of its own. We also have the Thaumiel class. Thaumiel class SCPs are capable of, and in some cases, are actually used by the Foundation to contain and or counteract the SCPs, usually the Keter ones. This is rarely used class and for good reason, and it's incredibly hard to write one successfully. However, we believe in today's classifications there are no Thaumiel classes. There is also another classification we haven't discussed before, which is the Archon class. Archon class SCPs can be contained, but due to their positive anomalous effects, because they might cause more damage than good when contained. Now that's done, can we do a quick refresher for all of the researchers in this program to do a test run to double check if we have all the classifications ready? Please, if you are one of the researchers who have the power to show the save icon, please use it now. Thank you. Now, let's do Euclid. And last but not least, please raise your Keter classification. Perfect. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Now that's done, let's begin, shall we? The first 5 SCPs that have been proven to have originated in a future timeline, different from our own, such as the Foundation has decided to keep the subjects contained for further research. Furthermore, due to the similarities, they have been categorized by the code name Noctix. Okay, let me move myself for a little bit. There you go. Let's start with NJ0116, Sonny Briscoe. All the researchers have conducted that his containment level is Archon. NJ0-16 has the capability to change its voice within the objective of confusing its objective, an ability that proves useful as a high infiltration skill. The application of these skills for the Foundation is a material of investigation. The subject has high expertise in the weapons of any kind. The origin of this knowledge shown by the subject is still research material. Research shows that NJ-16 seems to have an affinity with kicking doors. As of the current date, NJ-016 noted properties as listed as follows: abnormal physical strength, advanced knowledge about firearm technology that seems not to have been invented yet. Now, for the special containment procedure for NJ-016, it is similar to SCP-4494, codenamed the Spectre. NJ-016 is an officer from the future and is considered to be an Archon class, so the subject should not be contained due to the damage that it would cause by doing so. Next up, let's do NJ-017, also called as Uki Violeta. The pre-assessment containment of the researcher said that NJ-017 is Euclid. However, as a researcher, please finalize this as I give the description and the special containment procedure of the following. NJ-017 possesses psychokinetic and levitational abilities. That was the wrong one. Forgive me, my researchers. I have messed up. Now, I will continue reading NJ-017's description. NJ-017 seems to have an alluring voice opposite for SCP-327, codename as the Mermaid. Reports have been stated that the researchers have heard the subject's voice experience calmness. This anomaly is further amplified when the subject evokes a melodic sound. Due to NJ-017's past, he has shown emotionally vulnerable. Contention is highly do not recommended during this type of interaction during this state. Further research has shown that the subject's body has stored celestial power due to the subject's eye being made extraterrestrial material. NJ-017 has high interest in male subjects. The subject has displayed positive feelings towards NJ-009, but is often observed in constant banter with it. Adeninum. NJ-017 and NJ-0124, codename Aster, have shown similarities between genetic code but needs further research. Now, my fellow researchers, you have 1 minute to classify this subject. Thank you for your input. 61% of the researchers had decided that NJ01-7 is considered as Euclid. Now, let's go to NJ0-17's containment procedure. We have 3 options available for you guys. Please pick. It has been observed that NJ017 has taken liking to different types of straps. NJ-017 can be lured into a fake store inside site indefinitely to be observed by MTF codename bookworms. NJ017 can be contained with a 5 meter with the NJ-010-A called the Ukinya. NJ-017 can also be contained within the same vicinity as NJ-021 Maria due to the subject having a dislike with mannequins, which causes NJ-017 to behave passively out of fear. Now, my fellow researchers, please vote on which containment procedure we should follow. You have 20 seconds to vote, researchers. Time's up. Thank you so much for your input. As the researchers has decided, we will be putting NJ-017 on the third option, where he will stay with dolls out of fear and torment forever. Thank you for your input. Now let's move on to NJ-018. NJ-018 is Alba Knox. Here is a brief description of the subject. NJ-018 appears to be similar personality of SCP-999 codename the Tickle Monster. Researchers have noted that the subject possesses high and optimistic attitude during conversations. The subject shows some similarities with some feline species far from human standards, including subject that had high agility and having several physical properties. Regardless of all measures taken, the subject has escaped before despite the watch of the researcher. NJ-018 appears to have several advanced augmentations, clip-on hair attachment that enhance the subject's hearing, greenish eyes that let the subject see in the dark, tail as a charger for the subject's clip-on. Now, my fellow researchers, please vote what kind of classification containment level would NJ-018 be. You have 1 minute to vote. Thank you for your input. The pre-assessment containment level for this character is considered as Keter. However, the researchers have found that this character is safe, so we will put it as safe. Now, let's move on to the containment procedures. Here are the 3 options for NJ-018 containment procedures. Due to NJ-018 having expertise in escaping tight situations, NJ-018 can be isolated in SCP-30018 to permanently satisfy NJ-018's mischievous nature and the knack of escaping. This must be guarded by MTF Epsilon-11, codename Ninetail Fox. Option 2. NJ-018 has shown to have similar traits to feline creatures, making it possible to contain the subject by distracting it with cat toys. And option 3. It has been observed that NJ-018 has a keen knack of horror games in which can be taken advantage by allowing NJ-018 to be part of the interdimensional expeditions accompanying MTF Lambada 5, codename White Rabbits. Now please vote researchers for which special containment procedure should we apply for NJ-018. Before I forget, SCP-30018 is actually infinite IKEA. You have 30 seconds left to vote. Thank you, researchers. Your input is appreciated. For NJ-018's procedure, we will be going with option number 2. Now, let's move on to the 3rd subject. Oop. Now, the next subject. NJ-019, Fulgur Ovid. Now, let's look at his description, shall we? The subject claims that he may be from the year from further proof hasn't been found yet by any research. Physically, the subject seems to have mechanical attachment in its body. Aside from its apparently stable mental health, the subject shows an interest in human activities of the current era. NJ-019 has shown to possess a vast understanding toward different areas of human knowledge such as medicine, literature, cinematography, and other forms of entertainment media. NJ-019 has the ability to collaborate and process good relations with other NJ SCPs. As of the current date, NJ-019 noted properties listed as follows: abnormal physical strength, abnormally high reaction speed, ability to see through the use of vibrations. The subject's eyes possesses the following abilities: seeing augmented realities and night vision. Possesses a device called NetJack, and it contains nanobot that will destroy any technology in their path while continuing to build and fuel themselves whatever they eat. Now, researchers, please vote what kind of assessment containment level this subject is. You have 1 minute. "30 seconds. Thank you for your input. The researchers have decided that it will be Keter. The pre-assessment containment level of the researchers had decided that this was a Euclid. However, the researcher has decided that this will be a Keter rank. Now, let's move on to the special containment procedures. For the special containment procedure, NJ-1 can be contained by placing the subject into a library of Babel. NJ-019 can also be contained in a room with SCP-594, codename Electric Sheep, to keep the subject company, which keeps the subjects from breaching. And the third option, the Foundation can hack into the subject's eye implant, disturbing NJ-009 reality while being detained using SCP-72, an old iron name. Now, researchers, please vote which option would you like to pick. Researchers, you have 30 seconds left to vote. Thank you for your input. We have decided that we will proceed with option number 2 as NJ-019's containment. Now, let's move on to NJ-020. NJ-020 is also called Yugo Azuma. Here is Yugo Azuma's description. NJ-020 is very similar to a normal human in male appearance. NJ-020 has a strong affinity towards music and seems to be passionate about singing. Due to being from the future, NJ-020 is knowledgeable in technology, the Foundation he is not familiar with. The subject has the ability to control and produce its body high-frequency sound waves, causing researchers in the subject's vicinity to experience disorientation and even hearing loss. NJ-020 has shown a strong opinion towards ice cream cakes because of the subject's high affinity towards it. Please vote. What kind of a pre-assessment containment level NJ-020 will be? While the researchers are voting, I will add the addendum. The research made by Dr. with NJ-013, codename Ike, have shown a connection between NJ-020. Further investigation is needed to explore the possibility of using NJ-013, codename Ike, in NJ-020's contention efforts. "30 seconds. Thank you for your input. The pre-assessment containing level from the other researchers deem that NJ-020 is a Euclid type. However, the current researchers now had subjected that NJ-0-20 will be a safe, so we shall proceed as that. Now let's move on to the special containment procedures. Here are the three options for special containment procedures for NJ-020. NJ-020 can be contained by placing the subject in a music studio. Option 2. Despite possessing a modest tolerance towards alcohol, NJ-020 has shown vulnerability when it comes to exposed based on previous testing and when influenced by substances as subjects deemed for harmless. And option 3. NJ-020 can be contained in a room encompassing the game. 2. The subject has expressed that it has never finished it. Results show an infinite loop of subject trying to finish the game. Now please vote for a containment procedure for NJ-020. Thank you for your input. The researchers have voted option number 3, and we shall proceed into that. Now, we have finished all the members of Noctix. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, let's move on to the other subjects. The next 6 SCPs have been proved to be associated with the newly discovered area by the Foundation, the Institute of Mystics. And as such, due to their similarities, they have been categorized by the codename Illuna. Note that the area has been turned into a containment facility, but each individual subject still needs specific special containment procedures. Let's start. Now, we'll talk about NJ-021, Maria Marionette. Here's a brief description about NJ-021. NJ-021 possesses the appearance of a young woman around 2 years old. The subject is regarded by the researcher as quote-unquote wholesome and cute. Note that these are only the opinions of the researchers and is subjective. At first glance, the subject seems to possess an anomalous properties. But upon a quick blood test, her abnormal nature can be noticed. For said blood sample will proceed to turn red wool and disappear within a period of 12 hours. NJ-021 seems to possess high interest towards human nature. The subject's left eye needs further examination. As such, the researchers have implemented an eye patch on it as a repercussion. Now, please vote for its containment level. You have 30 minutes. Sorry, seconds. If you want, we could stay for 30 minutes. I don't mind. Thank you for your input. The pre-assessment containment level from the earlier researchers deemed that NJ-021 is considered to be safe. And as such, the new researchers had also founded it as safe. Now, let's continue to the special containment procedures. Here is NJ-021's options for its containment procedures. NJ-021 can be contained by placing the subject in a room with drawing peripherals. NJ-021 can freely roam around the facility's recreational areas as the subject is accompanied by a researcher. Due to NJ-021 being afraid of insects, the subject can be contained within the same vicinity as SCP-553, codename Butterflies, which causes NJ-021 to behave passively out of fear. Please vote for its special containment procedures. You have 30 seconds. Thank you for your input. The researchers have decided to go for option number 2. Now, let's move on to NJ-022. NJ-022 is also called Kyokaneko. Here's a brief description of NJ-022. NJ-022 at first seemed to have no anomalous power, but upon further research, the subject appears to be ageless and possesses immortality. NJ-022 is mysteriously related to the moon. NJ-022 claims he is not from our world, thus having the need to be contained for further research. The subject claims to appear very similar to a certain anime genre. Recorded conversations show that NJ-002 is frequently heard saying the word and phrase, "That's crazy." Now, please vote what kind of containment level would NJ-002 be? You have 30 seconds. Thank you for voting. The researcher's pre-assessment containment level for Kyokaneko is considered to be safe. However, the current researchers have voted for Keter, so we shall proceed as it is. Now, for NJ-002's containment procedure. Here are the three options for NJ-002's containment procedure. Option 1. NJ-002 can freely roam around the facility's recreational areas. Option 2. NJ-022 can be contained in a room with NJ-009, codename Enna, as previous experiments have shown that they will start to banter indefinitely. Option 3. NJ-022 can be contained by placing the subject in a room with the video editing peripherals. Now please vote. You have 30 minutes. Seconds. I'm sorry. I cannot math. I should be an SCP at this point. Thank you for your input. As decided, the researchers had voted option number 2 as the majority, and we shall proceed as so. Now, let's continue to NJ-023. NJ-023, also called as Aya Amare. Here is a brief description of NJ-023. NJ-023 possesses the appearance of a young woman of 2 years old. However, upon further testing, it has been noted that her body is actually not older than a few years, in the same way that it is also noted that her genome possesses multiple traces of elements that are alien to Earth and emit radiation similar to SCP. The subject refers itself on multiple accounts as a goob. NJ-023 seems to have originated from the same realm as SCP-073, codename Kane, and SCP-076, codename Abel. NJ-023 possesses the following abilities: flight, immortality, enhanced perception, healing, heavenly smite. Addendum: keep any items that have entered contact with SCP-2 away from NJ-023. The violence resulting potential contact with 2 would be unmeasurable. Now please vote. What kind of containment level would Aya be? You have 30 seconds. Thank you for your input. Now, the researchers have deemed that the pre-assessment containment level for this subject is considered Euclid. However, the current researchers have deemed it to be a Keter. So we will continue it as a Keter. Now, let's move on to its containment procedure. Here is NJ-020's containment procedure. Call her a dork, and in nature, a tsundere, and calling her this noun causes her to get flustered, to be overly defensive and hide behind her table, and then she will be deemed harmless. Calling her an egg, she is a nature tsundere, and calling this noun will cause us flustered and be overly defensive behind the table when she will be deemed harmless. Calling her a nerd, she, well, you know the rest. Please vote for which option we should contain, NJ-023. Bing bong! You have 30 seconds. Thank you for your input. The researchers have decided that the containment procedure for NJ-023 will be option 1, which will be calling her a dork from now on. Now, let's move on to NJ-024. NJ-024 is also called as Aster Arcadia. Here's a brief description of Aster. NJ-024 has shown affiliated with heavenly bodies. NJ-024's physical form seems to be made up of extraterrestrial material and has remnants of what appears to be a supernova. I forgot to remove the mark. None of these tests done have been explained how NJ-024 maintains a stable form, a measurable weight of 2, or how he avoids setting the atmosphere on fire. NJ-024 seems to possess godlike powers, being able to manipulate our reality and possibly more. As such, further research is required. NJ-024 has shown to be very proficient in different types of online games. NJ-024's vocabulary seems to be very similar to an adolescent, often saying phrases and words in lack of term a cute way. Addendum. Upper limits of NJ-024 strength, speed, durability, and intelligence have yet to be defined. While mostly non-hostile, the psychology department has requested to not underestimate NJ-024 to avoid any form of violent provocations. Please write the pre-assessment containment level of this subject. You have 1 minute to vote, my fellow researchers. 30 seconds. Thank you for your input. Now, the pre-assessment containment level for Astor Arcadia according to our old researcher is pending. However, the new researchers have decided that this will be a Napoleon. Thus, we shall proceed as so. Now, let's move on to its containment procedures. As you can see, Option 1, Option 2, and Option 3 all have the same. Reality-altering SCPs cannot be contained. Now, let's move on to NJ0-25. NJ-025, Scarla Yonaguni. Here is a brief description of NJ-025. NJ-025 possesses the appearance of a young woman, 2 years old. NJ-025 possesses what can only be referred as anomalous understanding of scientific and arcane arts. NJ-025 possesses knowledge of chemistry and magic that do not match with any previously recorded theorems of this earth. Regardless, when given materials and tools to apply her craft, she will be able to produce stable scientific or arcane phenomena that are completely contradictory to said known principles. NJ-025 has self-proclaimed that the subject can excrete bubble tea out of the subject's own bosom. NJ-025 shows high endurance conversing with the researcher. Reports have shown that the subject can keep conversation up to 10 hours without stopping. Further research regarding this is required. Now please vote what kind of containment level NJ-025 is. You have 1 minute. While you guys are voting, let me add the addendum. While highly eccentric NJ-25's questionable eating habits have proven to be possess no anomalous sources, we command that the research team cease the request for further testing. You have 30 seconds to vote. Thank you for your input. Now, for the old researchers, their pre-assessment containment level is Euclid. And for the newer researchers, you have voted Euclid, as we will produce to put Euclid as its final rank. Now, let's move on to its special containment procedures. Now, here are the 3 options for NJ-025 special containment procedures. NJ-025 has a strong affinity towards fictional Japanese men, so the subject can be contained by making the subject consume otome games and other media associated with anime boys. Option 2. NJ-025 can freely roam around the facility's recreational areas as long as the subject is accompanied by other researchers. Option 3. Due to NJ-025's high endurance to conversing, she can be contained in a room with SCP-049, codename the Plague Doctor. Please vote on which option you would like to have NJ-025 as its special containment procedures. You have 30 seconds. Thank you for your input. The researchers have voted option 1. Now let's move on to NJ-026. NJ-026, also known as Renzoto. Here is a brief description of NJ-026. NJ-026 possesses a mildly humanoid form similar to that of a human male, with 2 years old with protruding rib curved horns. NJ-026 is very friendly and cooperates accordingly towards the researchers. As the current date, NJ-026 noted properties listed as follows: extremely superior to human strength, extremely superior to human speed, extremely superior to human durability, extremely superior to human regeneration, highly acidic blood, retractable claws capable of cutting through to suboptimal understanding of human society and verbal banter. Upon further examination, NJ-026 seems to be part of an extraterrestrial life form that is alien to our current knowledge. Despite this, the subject is fully capable of speaking human language. Addendum: after a thorough examination, it has been determined that he is a member of a Toot, native of Toot, with a chronological age of Toot. Now please vote for its classification containment level. You have 30 seconds left. Thank you for your input. The pre-assessment containment level of the old researchers had deemed NJ-026 as a Keter level. However, the new researchers had deemed it to be Euclid. So we will proceed it as Euclid. Now, let's move on to the containment procedures. Here are the 3 options for its special containment procedures. NJ-026 can be contained in a room that plays pop ballad music in order to keep them entertained and busy, which keeps the subject from breaching. NJ-026 can be isolated with SCP-001's codename Gate Guardian, containment area, and be forced to permanently fight it until exhaustion. Option 3. NJ-026 can be asked to join MTF Omega-07 Pandora's Box in order to utilize the subject's abilities. Please vote which option we should use for NJ-026 containment procedure. You have 30 seconds. Thank you for your input. We will be proceeding with option number 3 for NJ-026. Last but not the least, we have found a multiversal anomaly that we experienced last time, and it seems like a new, different NJ-001 has appeared in our reality. This is classified as NJ-001-A, also known as the Council. Here's a brief description of NJ-001-A. NJ-001-A seems to be a byproduct of the anomaly NJ-001, the Watchers. NJ-001-A are entities that refer to themselves as the Council. NJ-001-A are very narcissistic in nature and deem to themselves to be the ones beyond everything. NJ-001-A has self-proclaimed that the subject fixes timelines on the verge of shattering. Further research is needed to validity of this claim. Now, please give a containment level for this anomaly. You have 30 seconds. Thank you for your input. The pre-assessment containment level for NJ-001-A, also known as the Council, is considered to be safe. However, the researchers have proved and said that it will be Keter level. And so, we should put it as Keter. Now, here's the containment procedure for NJ-001-A. NJ-001-A can be contained in a dark room where every few millennia, blank will give the subject shattering timelines to choose and save. This procedure will be repeated indefinitely. Option number 2. NJ-001-A can be contained in a bright room that will give another NJ subjects a pointless containment level and a special containment procedure to pass time. Please choose one. You have 30 seconds, researchers. Thank you for your input. You have decided the special containment procedure for NJ-00-1 will be option 2. Thank you for your input. Hello, researcher. Welcome to the SCP Foundation. We are currently in need of your help as your capabilities are greatly needed in this hard time. We have contained 15 unidentified anomalies for you to examine. I look forward to your cooperation. See you soon.